I'd like to tell you a story about a slave girl walking through the woods by herself, and she was going to get some groceries. And she was approached by this white man back in the 1800s. I was wearing a long dress down to the feet of my floor, and I was walking so casually, and this white man just stopped me and said, "Girl, come over here." And I said, "What do you want, white man?" And he said, "Girl, I'm in charge here. I tell you what to do." And I said, "Oh, do you though?" And he said, "Yes, girl." So I turned around and I looked at him, and this white man was approaching me. And he started making demands over my body. And I was like, "You know what, white man? No." And the white man said, "You don't say no to me. First of all, I'm in charge and you are a woman." And I said, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Let me remind you, there are no cameras out here in these woods." So I took out my fifth Missing Wesson out from under my long pettiskirt, and I began to shoot this man right in his foot. And he said, "How dare you, heifer?" And I shot him again in the shoulder. And then he started to approach me, and I shot him again in his other shoulder. And he yelled out very vicious words to me. So I shot him square in his chest. Then he fell over. He wasn't breathing, and I became nervous, not knowing if anyone seen me gather in these woods. So I saw a bear's cave, and I drug him over to the bear's cave. And the bear didn't wake. So I start throwing rocks at the bear. The bear gets up, raw. The bear was angry. He looks over to his shoulder as the white man just laying there. And I thought he would devour this man. But he looked at the man, he got up and he moved his position. And I thought to myself, what's wrong with this bear? Devour this imbecile at once. And the bear left his cave and hunt for another cave because he decided he wanted no parts of my misdemeanors. So there I was in the woods wondering what should I do with this white man, and I just thought I'll just scratch his face up a little bit and make it look like the bear started to munch on him and changed his mind. But then I thought, what about the bullet holes? It would be so obvious. So I had to put a rope on his leg and drag him down to the river. Then I was like, no, I'll just drag him in this bitch cave. And then I thought, if I drag him in his cave, he might start to smell. So what is a girl to do? I'm already delayed. The nighttime is approaching. I'm going to leave this negative nuisance here, and I'm going to go about my day, get my groceries, and return home. I returned home, and all I could think about was the mess I had made in the woods. The family knew something happened to me. What's wrong with you, girl? What's wrong with the girl? They could tell by my face, by my emotions, that I was upset, but I couldn't say what I had done in the woods. I could not say what I had done in those woods. So the next morning I arose and I thought to myself, should I go move this man's body? But I couldn't make an excuse to go into the store because I had just went to the store. So I waited a few days. And the days became nights and the nights became days. And on the fourth day I went down as an excuse to say I'm going to the store again. We need sugar. And I took a big bag to carry the sugar and things back home. And I got there, and there were vultures all over this man's body. And there was a stench in the air that was so undeniable. And people started to gather in this spot. And they couldn't figure out what happened. And I started to scream loud. Something's happened in the woods. And they felt I was innocent. And the vultures would not ease up. They was eating that sin. So, I too have secrets of the slave trade that I'll never speak of ever again.